Hey guys, Quentin here, coming at you with a update of an older deck that I used to play. It's called the Chaos Inzektor Dragons. This duo takes two somewhat dead decks and puts them together and makes a really great deck. It's really good for swarming the field and just popping enemy monsters and swarming, swarming field with beat stick monsters. So let's go ahead and get into this. Red Eyes for the Chaos Dragons. You can only play one. So this is the MVP of the Dragons. And this is right behind him. We're going to play triple Light Pulsar. This creates the loop with Red Eyes. I'm going to play just one Dark Flare. If I was playing normal Chaos Dragons, I'd play two or three, but just one because, I don't know, he's not as good as Light Pulsar, but he has a good Foolish Burial effect, so I like to tech him in. Just one Eclipse Wyvern because there are only two targets for the deck, and I really don't want to show my enemy or my opponent the deck, so just one. Dark Iron Dragon because there are a lot of darks in here, and the graveyard is easy to manipulate in this deck. And then we'll move on to the Inzektors. Get the standard Inzektor Dragonfly, the one Hornet, the triple Centipede, and I would be playing a Gigamantis, but at the time I don't have one, but I would be playing one if I had it. Surprisingly, this works very well with the deck, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Two Mystic Tomatoes to special summon, pretty much to special summon your Dragonfly, and if you really need to, your Hornet. So that's the Inzektor lineup. So we'll put these over here. And then, for the milling engine, you have the triple Raikou. Should move these out of the way a little bit more. Triple Raikou, easily the best Lysorn. Double Lila, only two because the Inzektors do enough back row smashing, and they're just decent lights, and they're 17 attack. And then we go to the Tour Guide engine. I play two Tour Guides, and then I play a Possessed Dark Soul. I play this because it's really good for if you normal draw into this and you activate its effect and tribute him, you take control of all face-up level 3 or lower monsters your opponent controls, and that's good against Inzektors. It's good against some windups. It's really good. If your opponent goes into the Tour Guide, you effect Valor it, and then you have this in your hand, take control of the Tour Guide. And now we'll go into the Chaos engine. You got BLS, obviously, because this card's broken. BLS' little brother, Chaos Sorcerer. And a Phantom of Chaos. This card is so broken. I don't know why people don't play this in their Chaos decks. This card pretty much becomes any effect card in your graveyard. You banish that card, this card becomes that name, and it gains the effect and the attack. The only downfall is any battle damage your opponent takes from this card becomes 0, but it gains the effect. So if you have Dark Arm Dragon in your graveyard, banish him, use his effect, and just destroy the enemy field. Same thing with BLS or Chaos Sorcerer. It also works for Red DM. It also works for any of the Inzektors. It's just a great card. It works with Possessed Dark Soul. It's just great. So that's the Chaos. Two Effect Valor, because this is a effect heavy format now with the Mermails and Fire Fists. One Gores just for if you have empty field. There's a lot of times you might have an empty field. It's good to have a Gores in the deck. Then we'll move on to the spells. Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, the trio. Paw Duality for searching. Lure Darkness for draw power. Foolish Burial to get Hornet or Eclipse Wyvern to the graveyard. Move on to the traps. Mirror Force Torrential. You might want to play two Torrentials, but Mirror Force is great. The Solemn Duo, obviously to get rid of good cards. Double Bottomless Trap Hole. One called the Haunted because there are very few Inzektors in this deck now, and you always want to be able to bring out another Inzektor from your graveyard. You want to bring out your Dragonfly, and to protect the back row and to protect your equipped Inzektors, you can use Starlight Road. This card is great, just protects everything, and easy way to get Stardust Dragon out. So that's the main deck. I'll go into explain some other cards you could easily tech in. Pot of Avarice. This isn't part of my deck, but you could easily tech these in. Charge of the Light Brigade for your Light Sworns. A Knight of Silent for the Tour Guide. A lot of people use this. A third Lila. Maybe another Dark Flare Dragon. 2 Card Troopers just to mill. Plague Spreader, you can use him. He's not a bad card at all, just to go for like emergency tuning. Honest, just because there are lights in here. Trag, another hand trap. And a Divine Dragon Apocalypse, just to bring back dragons from your graveyard to your hand. I don't play these cards, but they are really good cards that you can tech in. And now we go into the extra deck. I played 2 Leviathan Dragons. These are key in your deck. You can go your Inzektors into this, or Tour Guide into this, and then you could banish this for Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and then you can just open up with a bunch of monsters. Levier the Sea Dragon, level 3, brings back some of your banished. Zen Maid, staple. Giga Brilliant, this card is great. It turns your monsters into beat sticks, and it's an instant 2 darks and a light into your graveyard if he gets destroyed. Or 2 darks and light. Utopia, staple. Utopia Ray, staple, just to go for game, I guess, and if you're really low. Gaga Cowboy, I play this over Gemnite Pearl because it has much better everything, and it has an effect, so. Exabeetle to take control. Or not take control, sorry, to just get off his effect and just to destroy. Photon Strike Bouncer for the pesky effect monsters. And for our Gore's level 7 plays, we have Gaia, and he can also go overlay your level 6s. A Big Eye, just to take control. And then we go to the Synchros, Black Rose Dragon to blow up the field, and it's also a dragon target. Stardust Dragon, you have staple, and it's a dragon. And then an Armory Arm, just because it makes any monster into a beat stick. It's really good. And then some other possible extra deck cards you could be playing are Shockmaster, Blade Armor Ninja, Mace Stroke, and then String Djinn. 30 Acid Golem, which these 2 cards are one and the same pretty much. 34 Terabyte. It's like a smaller version of a Big Eye, and there's a lot of level 3s in this deck. Popular Operative, just because it's a good tech card. Force Focus, get rid of those level 5s. And the Heretic Sun Dragon of Heliopolis, or whatever you want to call it. Yes, Heliopolis. Just because there are level 8s in here, and it could happen, but it's very rare. And now we'll go into the side deck. Just the 3 tokens. Cyber Dragon, Chimera Tech to get rid of Geargias and windups and other machines and whatnot. Double DD Crow, if you're playing against Dark Worlds or Inzektors or Mermails or anything that works in the graveyard, this is a good card. In fact, a third Effect like I said, it's good for this format because it's very effect heavy. 2 MSTs, just to blow up more back row. A Mind Control, 1 Smashing, Fiendish Chain, and a Deep Prison. They're both very good. 2 Compulse to get rid of Ixies and Synchros and other big beats. And 2 Royal Decree just because I hate back row. I guess I'll just explain some plays you can go and do here. Let me get them out. You can go Tour Guide for Tour Guide. Like this is the Leviathan Dragon play. Go Tour Guide, Leviathan Dragon, and then banish him for red DM. You can also go from your Inzektors. It's easy to get your Inzektors out into this deck and go into a dragon play. So go Inzektor, Dragonfly, Hornet, Pop, special summon a Centipede. You can pop again if you want to blow up the field. Just keep blowing up monsters on the field. And then you can overlay, and say you had a red DM in your hand, go there, red DM, open up the field with the cards in your graveyard or the dragons in your hand. So it's very easy to get out the dragons, and the Inzektors are pretty much for just clearing the field and making sure you can get your dragons out and go for the beat stick play and pretty much go for game. So let me know what you think. I like it so far. So far it's working great. I haven't really ran into too many dead draws, but other than that, yeah, the deck is just really fun, and it's pretty fast paced. Surprising how dead the 2 decks are alone, but other than that, they're really fun. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions what I can play to make it a little bit better. Other than that, we just bought Cosmo Blaster Special Edition Booster Box, and I got some amazing pulls. I'll just let you figure it out when you see it. So like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and keep an eye out for more videos. Thanks, guys.